Hello and welcome everybody to this week 4 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Winter League matchup between miplet, Zatrex17, Chris, and juef. I am Aaron to you too, and with me on comms today is Enjadave. Hello, Enjadave.
Hello, Aaron. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm excited for this one. This is I was looking over like the highest point totals for all the matches this week, and this one is the highest. So this is theoretically the group of death, as much as there is one. I think this week was actually fairly well balanced though. But we have a number of people coming together here with playoff spots on the line. I believe no one is 100% must win. Even miplet, I think, with a second still has a chance to get in. But that's for talk after the race. Right now, I don't know. What do you think we're gonna see today?
I'm hoping we see just absolutely brutal overworld. I want to see a 3-digit punch.
Okay, well, you are the masochist then. I'm looking forward to I am looking forward to hopefully no locked in level 1. That's a possibility with chaos, and it can be a bit rough as you see the flags up on the screen. Generally speaking, I think the big one here is going to be random spell costs, where heal more and hurt more roll can define everything in the matter of the seed. When you go, what you do, etc.
Agreed. A low-cost heal more can absolve a lot of sins. And a low-cost hurt more just accelerates the seed well beyond what it normally would.
Indeed, and it appears that we are underway, so we get to hear the king do his little yapping, and then we'll get to see if we get anything in here that's going to help us out to get going.
I like that torch. That allows you can just chuck that at the noodle and get a free kill.
Indeed, herb torch, that gives you a little bit of flexibility both ways. Again, we saw the stats already, 9 and 10. Zatrex going to pop back in to save it, going to preserve that torch. It looks like juef's doing the same thing. Chris, however, moving straight out, sees a town, sees a Drakima, does nothing to the Drakima, and leaves.
Ooh,
and hey,
key down immediately.
Yeah, not too much you can do with it right now, but it could be one enemy to give you enough money to buy keys. And then one of the flags we have this week will be how many keys can you buy? The minimum is 2. If that happens to be the case, then having a nearby rim will be helpful.
Agreed. 2 keys is just awkward to deal with. And looking at the damage we're seeing on juef's side with this Magic Wyvern, that might be our noodle.
Indeed, we talk about the noodle. That is a chaos enemy who's locked in to 5 hit points and 10 attack, and he takes it down for 82 experience.
That's 58, 37, 22, 34. How many levels was that?
6, but only 3 spells. So that's a little surprising, and hurt might be the most useful one there. I think the one thing the Magic Wyvern didn't give in particular was money. I think it was pretty low on that, so yeah, he can't even get a key.
But that all the extra strength means the hurt spell might not be as used, because we're pretty much casting hurt with our fists.
Indeed, but we see already miplet, Zatrex already got their level as well. Chris now getting his. Magic Wyvern paying out. Perfect use for that torch. You will not miss it. You will not regret that.
Drakima is not worth the time.
Yeah, very low experience, and they're running away, so you just would let him go, probably, preferably. Chris getting a second Magic Wyvern, not an immediate level, so level 8 might take a bit of time. We'll see. Again, no real money here, which I'm sure is on their minds. Juef could buy one key if he wants to.
Juef got that money from critting a Demon Knight,
which it looks like he's right back trying to get through, and he does. So there you go. That's enough for 2, almost 3 keys. He might decide to do that, or he might just keep going.
Might want enough for 3 keys.
And it's something with the random entrances here, as we see Zatrex walking all the way around the outside of Rim. It looks like Joe's going to do the same. Chris also doing it. Everyone doing it. But you kind of don't want to have to buy one key and then leave. You kind of want to buy as many as possible and not have to walk all the way around again.
Yeah, if at any point you run out of keys, you will have to get your steps in tonight.
Well, one of the good things is that I'd say something around 50% of the time there's a gold chest in Tantagel, so that might solve that problem right off the bat. You still have to walk around one time, but who knows? You might get enough money you can just go to the back door too before you ever use it.
We can hold at least 4 keys.
Yeah, that's not a bad number. And juef has decided to go in and check. So I think was it Zatrex and Chris both got one. Everyone else got more, so we get to see a torch and an herb and the magic key. So hey, gets his key back.
We get a rebuy.
Yep, and there's cursed belt. So pretty boring. Looks like he procced that to go down. He doesn't really have a lot of hit points. That's kind of an interesting thing to do. I mean, there's not really much reason to not do it, but doing that does trigger the chest glitch, which means that if he opens 2 chests down here, the second one will be glitched.
And unfortunately, there are no chests down here.
You know, he might walk through and it might go to Garanham. We called that the training tournament special, since the training tournament, I think it happened in 5 of the 6 seeds.
And we see 588 more XP on the juef side, so 692 to level 8.
Yeah, so Zatrex made it a pretty good chunk of the way there. I didn't see if he killed something really nice. Knights, right there. Beta mentioned it in chat. Zatrex taking on the spike here is very curious because spike enemies are in Chaos traditionally pretty awful. But I don't know, if there's something killable here, it could be really nice to grind on, but not that Drin Lord.
Hey, you're right, it was back of Garanham.
Well, there you go. Like I said, the old training tourney special. So maybe he'll get a gold chest here, and that could pay off huge. Or he runs into a wyvern, which again with Chaos, you got no idea what kind of damage that guy's gonna do. You have no idea.
I believe that was fairy water in that chest.
Was it? For some reason I thought it was an herb, but no idea. We'll see. He's gonna run out of space if it's fairy water pretty quick, so I think you got it. Yeah, he's got 45 hit points. Unless this guy is reasonably strong, he should be able to get like 3 of those off. Or, he gets ambushed.
Gets ambushed, but takes 1 damage.
Oh, nice. Well, Chris is taking out Axe Knights over here for 120 as well. So it looks like both Chris and Zatrex have something in mind to grind.
Yeah, both of them have found good grind spots.
And it was the small shield the whole entire time. He was guarding a small shield, or, well, it's actually the silver heart, but. I feel like there is some anime or video game in existence where somebody uses a harp as a shield or vice versa. That just seems like that would have happened.
Doesn't the... I'm trying to remember Wind Waker, doesn't the bird use the harp in the Earth Temple, I think?
I don't know. Interestingly, juef finds Cantlin, leaves without doing anything there, and then immediately finds Cole, which could be the bigger find. Again, this could be an encounter, and it is. So this is going to be something he's going to want. Throw in the fairy water again. Rogue Scorpion is doing a little bit more damage. He might be able to out-herb it to get an extra attack, although that looks pretty vicious.
We do see Zatrex and Chris have both gotten level 8 on their grind spots. 15, 7, 23, 16 at 8. And heal more and hurt more, for good measure.
Yeah, that is a massive level. That's your breakout. Look at the strength these guys are wielding already. They can take out a lot of stuff. But the big question is, how much does that heal more cost? How much does that hurt more cost? We've seen the hurt more 7. Well, that's a little unpleasant. That's not going to make that too much fun. And we see the heal more is 3.
Yeah, dirt cheap heal more. That's going to really make the Charlock dive viable.
Indeed. If we're looking at just, here's some really in-depth analysis here. If we were looking at the attack level right now, 82, just give them the swords. They got 122 attack power. Against a standard Dragon Lord, that's 21 swings, which means they would need 63, well, less than that, but just about 60 MP to be able to get the amount of heal mores needed for that. And they're pretty close to that already. So this might be a hit point watch. This might be a matter of just starting to push pretty hard. Because once those hit points come up, there's very little else that's blocking you from moving on to the rest of the game.
Oh, that 15, 7, 23, 16 was 3 levels, as Chern was pointing out in chat. They went straight from 7 to 10.
Yeah, with the random levels setting, they tend to clump together a lot, especially if you get something that's kind of a large kill with these 100 and 200 experience things that they're clobbering. So it's not too surprising that it should stop pretty quickly. Now we see level 11, a nice smattering of stats, nothing overwhelming, but another 6 hit points.
Oh, I see why we're hanging out in this zone. Knights, Axe Knights. This is the zone.
Yeah, and that's the other thing to think about too, is that Repel is kind of a questionable decision in Chaos, but if you can get a good grind going and just ride that, then that might actually be worth doing. And is that the first Golem I think we've seen killed? I don't know. That was not worth it.
If we did see a Wyvern killed for 322.
I didn't even notice that when juef took it out, so there you go. That's lovely. Juef is going straight to the harp strats, which are kind of fun, as long as you remember that you have it later. Oh, I see what you're saying now. And the other thing, I mean, the harp is pulling from zones. It doesn't, like it pulls from enemies, I think, in zone that are assigned to, you know what, I forget the exact math because there is exact math about it. Like it's 5 enemies from zone 1 and 3 from zone 0 or something like that. I don't know. Where's Brian Williams when you need him? I'm sure he knows.
And we do see on Miplet's side, the Big C has made an appearance with a cave directly to the south.
Yeah, there you go. And we see juef has now got his hurt more and heal more. He's catching up a little bit. We got anything interesting in Stone's Cave here? No enemy and wings. Wings are okay, I guess. Yeah, Zatrex clobbering those wyverns now too. These guys are not going to have problems leveling the rest of this game. Everything here is just like it happens very often in Chaos. Everything good is just chilling by start.
If Chris is ground to 12, Zatrex to 13.
That is very scary looking, Drakey. You might see that one in Charlock. However, you should be able to one-shot it. So that might be the strat. Just I don't know, even 49 in agility, it's not going to be too hard to run from, but I'd probably just swing.
And thank you for the Wyvern stats. Yeah, 1 hurt more, it's an easy enough fight.
Yep, it does have some scary stuff to go along with it, but you know what? Just hurt more and move along, and take that experience and get going.
And Zatrex is going to be up to level 15 right now. 5, 3, 6, 4. There's our heal. There's our return.
Yeah, and with those stats, obviously you still have to deal with whatever is in Sharlock, whatever's going to be DL1, whatever's on a spike, however they turn out here in this chaos stuff. But those are stats that you can win the game with. With the sword, maybe fighter's ring or not, you're able to even damage the full defense enemies. This feels like you gotta be thinking about pushing now, even just because the stats are there.
And level 16 game fast enough. I did not see the stats on it.
They are pretty high. The agility is kind of the iffy thing. It's at 72, but chaos, like 72 agility is rough, is a little bit rough for Sherlock and standard. But in chaos, you got no idea what anyone has in there. So you could be fighting with 200 agility enemies, in which case 72 to 52 ain't gonna matter a whole lot. And we do see people pushing out a little bit. Chris is still chilling here. He didn't see the Wyvern, so his grinding has been a little bit less. I think the Wyvern was in the west zone, not the north zone. Is that right?
I believe that's true. But when you're already looking at a zone that has these kind of monsters, it's tough to leave.
Now, miplet has found Mountain Cave, has taken out the first enemy, or the first chest, which is the Death Necklace. I saw that Druid Lord, and I'm like, oh, that's a spike enemy. You probably don't want to deal with that guy. Second chest, gold, now it's hidden in the top left corner.
You see a scorpion guarding a chest. The scorpions can't be treasure guards, can they?
No, and miplet unfortunately taking the death. With those few resources, it's kind of rough to do anything. Yeah, it's not even a real fancy scorpion. Just dodged him once, and he came really close to taking it out in one shot.
And we see Zatrex finding some sort of cave. Oh, that is where Mountain is. It's hiding in the northeast corner.
Indeed, and Juef has went back to Cantlin. He's the only person that's went through and seen that yet, and finds out that we don't have any coordinates. So, sad day for any coordinate lovers.
That means no counting tonight.
That's just as well. There's nothing interesting about counting, really, right?
Not really.
So Jeff's back to Cole now, where he died to this spike, the Rogue Scorpion. Now with Hurtmore, should feel a lot stronger about it, but Hurtmore fails, Sleep fails. But, when else fails, just crit, which still does not take out the guy. So we get the real cheap heal more here. If he's able to do steady damage, he's going to take this guy down at some point. I mean, unless he has heal more, right?
Why would you wish that on a runner? Besides, that's funny.
There it is. Yeah, 44 experience, whopping experience gain, and it's the token. So something you're going to have to do, but it's not really going to vault juef forward in any way. Chris taking out that Wyvern now, about to get his own harp.
And Zatrex had finished clearing out Mountain while that was going on, and not much else of value in there.
Yeah, it's one of those things that Miplet's going to have to go back there. I mean, I say have to. He doesn't really have to, but if anything's in Sharlock, like sword or armor, he'll probably end up going back there, and to see nothing is just going to feel really bad. And now we have a tablet cave find on Zatrex's side. I don't think we've seen this one yet. One item way down here, no encounters, pretty boring. I think he's got outside though, so tablet only really ever feels bad if you don't have outside, I think. And, you know, I'm on the lookout to see if we got any other cool enemies, but I think we've already had enough. Yeah, Juef he's got that harp. He's just going around. You know, I'm near a town. Let me see if I can get a level and heal up before I go anywhere. And Chris getting the bad news of the lack of coordination in the seed, and he'll be leaving here too. He's going to go to Cole. I think he's got the hurt more, which I guess actually isn't going to help, but I think he's good enough that he should be able to take out. You know, he's got a whole lot more stats than Juef. He should be fine.
Chris is level 16, as is Zatrex. They're not going to have much trouble with much of anything in this seed.
Indeed. Again, this is, as Beta in chat said, this is kind of a panic situation. You really want to push, and it might be to Juef and Miplet's favor to have not grinded as much, because they basically need, like, well, in Miplet's case, 1,400 experience. Juef needs like 2,000 to be done. You know, assuming the end of the game isn't some complete dumpster fire.
That who knows what's waiting for us on that spike.
I don't know if we've seen anything too ridiculous yet. We've seen some high hit point enemy, I think, and that's about it. So they might just be hiding. They might be, you know, staying away from us for now.
The high hit point Naximons are just lulling us into a false sense of security.
That was a fun werewolf. Miplet uses hurt more. It fails. It puts him to sleep. Does 1 damage to him. Wakes up. Miplet hits it once for 11 damage, and then it runs away.
And that werewolf was just like, nah, this is boring.
It is one of the things when you get hurt more before you see a lot of enemies that you just kind of by default throw out the hurt more often than not, so you don't necessarily see what some of these guys have. We did see the Star Wyvern there having very unfortunate DL2 breath, but Miplet is just able to survive it and gets the last chest here, which again is nothing useful.
We did some metal slime sightings, only giving, I believe that was 53 XP.
Yeah, they're a little bit past the point now where they're going to get some real good use out of it. That metals flag the scaled metals is still on, so it still gives 32 times level up to level 8, I think, and then after that it goes to whatever value it is. But again, looking at where we are and what we have, it's Chris and Juef have both went through to find the goodies over there in Cole and in the back of Garenham. Miplet and Zatrex have not done that yet. However, once they do, they'll probably get those items too really quick. So then it's just a matter of what else are we going to get? Where are we going to find it? We know Mountain has the Death Necklace, and that's it. So we got Grave, and let's see, Cantlin's out, so Hawksness somewhere.
And that's it. We've seen Freebie, we've seen Stones, we've seen Tablet. Yeah, the Stones have to be either in Hawks or Grave.
Yeah, we have 6 locations.
Speaking of Hawks.
There we go. What do we got? What sort of fun enemy do we have here? It's a metal slime who I think we just saw someone kill. So that's nothing.
And Metal Slime was guarding the sword.
All right, that's one less thing to possibly be in Sherlock, and that does mean he has 133 attack power. So he will do guaranteed damage, assuming he hits on anything at this point. Now, Miplet has been wandering around for a very long time with no hit points. This is observation, right? He hasn't found a town. He's just practically dead walking around, not really finding too much. Like when all
2 HP, 1 MP.
It takes out that absolutely lethal Drakey. Werewolf runs away. Nothing wants to kill him.
It's like, please send me home.
Well, at this point, he no longer has a choice. There you go. Yeah, I think we saw the Drakey up a little bit ago, and it was like 170 attack power. So it's not the worst it could possibly be, but it's still going to hit really hard even in the end game. It's still harder than anything in standard except for DL2. So Juef looks like he's going to try to grind out a little bit more. I didn't see if he took a death or if he just wants to get another level before he decides to do anything. That might be the case. I think he's in the right zone for the Wyvern. And he's out.
The plan here may also just be continue grinding as you go.
Zatrex is bailing. Looks like he's going to get his refill. I think he might try to go through Swamp. Miplet was really close to a town there and got taken out by a 51 damage swing from a Druin. Swing? I don't know. How do Druins attack?
Maybe do they claw? Do they kind of just whip you with their tentacles?
Yeah, do they electrocute you or something? I don't know.
And the stats coming for that Druid, they have many different ways to kill you tonight.
So we were just talking about one of the things we needed was Grave, and Chris has found it, and he may have found our treasure guard here with the Star Wyvern on it. Now we know the Star Wyvern has DL2 breath, so this is not a safe fight if he, doesn't realize that and gets caught, but he totally knows it now.
And it's the stones.
Yeah, it literally just ran after all that, didn't it?
It did. So Chris has all the homework. Have we actually found either the turning caves yet? I don't think I've seen them.
I don't think so either. We'll see if Chris is going to deep dive here. He hasn't quite seen everything yet, but we will know if he full clears here whether or not the armor is in Sherlock, which will be fun, I guess. I don't know. With the amount of heal more cost, I think you could still single dive it. So it might just be a matter of finding those things. Well, Zatrex is moving on to get the stuff here on the second continent that we hadn't seen yet, which I think it's a pretty lengthy second continent from what I recall. It's either that or it's really short, and I didn't realize when they left and went back.
I think Chris has been hanging on second continent for a while. So we'll see. Deep Grave, does it have the armor, or are we burning some heal mores on our way down?
Yeah, Miplet makes it to that town that he got caught for and almost got caught a second time by that Druid, and it just winds up being Breck. So, sadness. And here we are, inches away from figuring out what this last chest is. Drum roll. Well, we can't really roll the drums while is fighting this Magidrake.
It is not the armor.
There's a jump scare. All right. So that means armor is in Sharlock. Hooray! Everyone is happy about that, right?
I love having to take 15 damage tile when there's monsters that could potentially punch me into next year.
And there, Zatrex will get the token, so now he has those two pieces. So he's just gonna have to find Grave. Juef needs Grave and Hawksness. Chris needs Hawksness. Miplet needs everything still, but again, once you go through to the second continent, I think you're gonna find those things pretty fast. So missing out on the harp and the token aren't super bad, just because they should be found in fairly straight order. Should, assuming that you don't completely forget that that swamp cave exists.
But who would just lose a cave?
Exactly. And so yeah, that level gap that we had is gone now. Juef is all the way up to 16, and Miplet is very close to getting his own, well, 15 and 16, since they seem to be attached to each other. But he does find Grave, and will he be able to get through the Star Wyvern to get his own stones, or will the Star Wyvern just run away?
Well, gets it down for the 223.
Yeah, there it is. He does get. Oh, and we saw the Rainbow Drop Cave, sometimes called the Jerk Cave, over on Juef's side. I believe we're still missing the Staff of Rain Cave, though. I think that's the one that is eluding everyone.
That guy may have set up shop in some obscure corner of the map.
Yeah, that could be particularly fun. And so Miplet is going to deep dive Grave. That will not find anything, but it's good to get it out of the way right now, so you don't have to worry about that later. Getting a Wyvern in here, I mean, we don't know when 17 is. Or no, I guess we do.
Oh, we do. Chris 17? Got it at about 3,900. It was 211, 3, and 10.
Okay, I mean, any level you can get is nice. If you're gonna, kill 200, 300 experience enemy, you don't feel bad about that at all. But there is going to be a matter of, I don't want to say over leveling, but you might be losing some time fighting things at this point. And I think Zatrex has just found Grave. I'm pretty sure that's where Miplet was.
Yep, Miplet just finished out Grave, and Zatrex is in there. So after this, Zatrex will just need to track down the turn-ins. Juef also finding Grave.
Did that again? There was a Star Wyvern there, right? What happened?
There was. It exploded.
Yeah, and they can hit you with DL2. It's very nice to see. And Juef is in a little bit of a scary situation, but he gets through his own, and he gets stones as well. So I didn't see when he got to Grave, but I think he came to it from a different direction. And he is very, very, very much like the Walking Dead in here. This is not great for him because he might have to come right back. And there it is, the DL2 breath. The 25%er gets taken out by that Wyvern. So the Star Wyvern and the Wyvern are both worth quite a bit of experience, but they both have DL2 breath. And then there's the Magic Wyvern, who is just a noodle. So there are all of your Wyvern updates. This Wyvern update has been brought to you by Shahali. Hi, Shahali.
We see Miplet finding the jerk.
Yes, unfortunately, it's not a whole lot you can do with him with just the stones. I'm not sure if Miplet's doing some mapping here. He's thinking about it. Everyone else, again, Zatrex, he just has to finish diving here, and I think then it's just the harp trade in, and then whatever he wants to do for the end game. It's actually pretty crazy to see Chris in here for the first time in Stone's Cave, because I felt like this was super close to start. So this just must be a direction he hasn't been. But this might lead him to Hawksnest, because I'm pretty sure Hawksnest was one of the paths that they went when they walked past Charlock, both Zatrex and Miplet, although I don't think Miplet got to it.
Yeah, I think it's in the south path from Charlock.
Yeah, one thing I am not good at when I'm commentating is understanding anything about the map, so I will trust you.
I'm much better at picking up the map when I'm playing than doing this. Probably to that point, only focusing on one screen.
Oh, I see. That's why juef was able to find Grave like he did, because it's literally right next to that other cave, which I think was Les Jerques. I did not say that in some sort of French just because it's juef. Right, Chris finding Mountain, which is a mountain waste of time. Well, you know, the Death Necklace theoretically could be used. I don't think you're going to see it because the strength is so high, and chaos
and HP is not.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I think they would be somewhere around 79 hit points, which is probably not great.
Somewhere around easy 2-shot for DL2 range.
Right. Interesting, Chris is not checking the chest. I think I would for the fighter's ring, if anything. Obviously, you don't want the flute, so that would be a bit of a malice, but it does appear that Charlock has the fighter's ring, the fairy flute, and the armor.
I think with these stats, you're looking at 135 already. You just don't want to fight the inventory boss if you're opening everything.
Yeah, I mean, as we mentioned before, this is kind of a panicky situation because you're like, you know, I've had ghost stats for a while now, but I'm not going, and I probably need to be going, so help me go.
And every second you're stuck in the menu seeing the thou must drop an item text window is time you're panic mashing the A button.
And we'll see, juef is almost done with Grave. I feel like he's been in here a while. Oh yeah, that's right, he died. That's why he had to come back. So that's unfortunate because we know there's nothing exciting in here, but you gotta do it, I suppose. Cast that 2 MP outside, then cast that 1 MP return. That stuff isn't really important at this point, but it's just fun to know. And now Miplet back, this might mean that we get to see him push out towards, you know, actually getting the stuff on the second continent. Yeah, because you remember Swamp is under there. So he's been the longest away from going in that direction. That will help bring him closer to the others as far as the equipment goes. But the lingering big thing is going to be the sword, which possibly might not matter. There is a chance that you can win this without the sword. I don't think it's a positive scenario. And Chris, look what he got.
That looks like a staff. That looks like a harp turn in. We have our first staff of rain. Where was this guy hiding?
Cue EMP singing his Staff of Rain song. You also get that nice Wyvern experience too, which I don't know, 18 is coming anytime soon, but never mind.
No, 18 is somewhere in the 6,500 range, I believe.
All right, so just to kind of show you, because one of the things I like to do is look at what the actual vanilla experience markers are. Right now at 5,000 in vanilla, you would just hit 15 in vanilla very fast experience. So the fact that like 18 would normally be 9,500, this has just been a fast seed because the experience level or the levels have come super fast.
Now we'll see if Chris remembers where. Well, I know Chris has seen the jerk.
And do we have an herb cap of 2? I swear I've seen them have 2 multiple times.
I think someone in chat said it's 4.
All right, then that's just been coincidence, I suppose. Now, Juef has found the Staff of Rain Cave. He's going to get his, and I believe that's on Zatrex's screen as well. For all the other runners, that is huge for Zatrex because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, no, he's done Mountain. He did it in one go, so it's a matter of, for him, just turning in the drop and then, figuring out what in the world he's going to do at the end of the game. Maybe buy armor before he dives Charlock. Maybe he doesn't.
And we do know that Zatrex and Chris both have their sword, too.
Indeed, yeah. Chris, I think, has seen everything else now. Pretty sure he saw Tablet. That's the only thing I can think of. So maybe he's hit up the drop and get going. That could be it. The not so high HP is going to make these people have to is going to make our runners have to kind of lean into casting, like keeping topped off. So they're going to lose quite a bit of MP down there. But I mean, if you're thinking of 20 heal mores at 60 MP, that means you have 53 MP to burn, and that feels like an extraordinarily generous situation. Oh yeah, and level 18 gives you even more MP. So there you go. Who got that one? Was that Juef? Yeah, it was Juef.
That was Juef. Just kept running into wyverns and throwing hurt mores at them.
Yeah, and he got his sword. So I don't know if he has anything left. I think he's seen Mountain too, correct?
That's correct. I believe every runner has seen every. Well, Miplet's close to having seen everything.
Yeah, he's missing Hawks and the Staff of Rain trade. I don't think he's seen that either. So those are his outstanding things. Everyone else is kind of like, we see Chris get a large shield, or was it armor? He got one or the other, maybe both.
Chris got a large shield.
Yeah, Zatrex went in, picked up a leather armor, gearing up probably for that Charlock dive. You know that the armor is down there, but you still want to, increase the odds that you make it to it, and picking some defense up helps. We'll see if anyone goes out of the way to get some fairy water too. Even though the defense isn't high, repelling could be very important. Again, with the enemies being very imbalanced in chaos, Chris there with the rainbow drop pickup, but with them being very imbalanced, you can get some extraordinarily high agility, low AP enemies that could have abilities that if you're able to repel them, that you won't see them.
Yeah, I've definitely defense broken Charlock enemies in this flag set.
And we have Zatrex into Charlock. He is first at the 43-minute mark. So again, very fast seed, and he has enough MP here. He could go and win this one. He is throwing out the repel. I guess repel was pretty cheap, so I think it was, right?
Repel is 8, but everything else is so cheap, who cares?
Yeah, I guess you don't really want to go out of your way to find fairy water if something isn't nearby. He's throwing the herbs out already. Kind of play it kind of tight. You kind of have to play it tight, but I guess that worked out. Used one herb to make sure he could get to the stairway, and then used to heal more.
And Chris will be joining Zatrex in Charlock soon enough.
Which makes sense, and it looks like Juef is going in the same direction. At least this terrain looks very familiar.
Juef does need to get the rail drop first.
Oh, that is a good point. Well, I mean, it looks familiar from what I've seen other people doing, I suppose. Oh, we see that Druin Lord right off the bat. That guy, we don't want anything to do with that guy. Druin Lord, Druin. What other guys have we seen that are just right out jerks that we do not want to see in Charlock?
Draki back attacking.
Yeah, Draki isn't going to one-shot you, but it is going to do quite a bit of damage. So, yeah, Zatrex is burning those MPs. But, again, if he gets the armor and he's still, like, northwards of 60, he is probably fine. Have we seen a stop spell check? Do we know how much stop spell is?
No, I don't think anyone's cast it, so no idea.
Yeah, well, Chris is not repelling. We've seen some interesting enemies we haven't seen before. So this is a situation where if somehow the resources are not enough for Zatrex, they might be for Chris. But who knows? That 8 MP might be costing him some nonsense in the meantime. Miplet picking up his own Staff of Rain.
The nice thing about treasure guards, you don't have to sit here and open everything in the pyramid. You only open a box if it attacks you.
And we are left in suspense as to what happens as Zatrex stream seem to lock up.
The Draki punched so hard it took out the stream.
Need somebody to poke at his stream with the stick. Be like, hey, do something. Well, yeah, Juef had not found Mountain, so there he is into Mountain. And hey, the stream works, so I'm going to assume that he's been backed up. Or no! Oh, no! It was just the same part. He's going down. It looks like we have a...
Judges table?
Yeah, Vanilla Sword location. Charlock's Naval. He's going all the way back, so that's something... Chris is going to have to do too. We just didn't get to see the chest checks at all, but I don't know, maybe the fighter's ring was in there. Well, I mean, it has to be in there, but maybe he got it.
I don't see any reason why you go back up unless it was on Judge's table.
Yeah, I don't think you would do it for the fighter's ring. And yeah, not there. So Chris is, he's going back in for the fighter's ring, I think. And there is our armor there in the center. Or maybe he thought maybe the Drakey was a treasure guard or something. I don't know.
You would have known it wasn't because you didn't go back a step from running.
Question in chat: would you consider trying to fight Dragon Lord without armor with 3 MP healmores? No.
No, not
Especially
106 106 HP, not a chance.
Yeah, you know that the armor is here, and so it would just be malpractice to try to not get it. Like, I think the only time you skip something like that is if you know it's way off in the middle of nowhere somewhere, or it's something like Gray 4 and 5 that you didn't check. And again, more hit points. You need to be able to not necessarily tank a DL2 breath, but you need to be able to tank a physical and still have enough hit points to survive a DL2 breath, or else you will never get out of heal more cycle. So in that case, you're looking at something around 120 hit points probably as the bare minimum.
Let's see what's waiting for us on the spike. It's a Droll Magi.
He hits it pretty hard. He gets a hurt more in response. We have to be careful that this Droll Magi isn't too strong. It seems like it's a hit point guy. Those are a bit annoying. Oh, there we go. The attack, he survives it. Unless we see like a heal more in the back end, I think he'll eventually get through this. And there it is.
The Droll Magi's just a big old HP sponge.
All right, so he does have 20 heal more still. Again, I don't know exactly what stop spell is going to be. That's going to take some effort here. So if he decides to throw it out. So what do you got for us, DL1?
5 MP stop spell. The staff swings are inconsequential.
And he decided to not worry about it. He's doing a heal more at 60, which is kind of surprising. Especially considering how weak this guy is.
DL1's got a bit of defense, and it's got to heal more.
Oh, and it fails again. Oh my gosh. So he's still going to have quite a few resources, but these stop spells are just trolling him. He's going to have to burn at least one more heal more going in. That's going to put him at somewhere around 13, and maybe even less if he has to throw another one out.
11. You got to throw a stop spell at DL2 to start.
Well, you don't have to, but I think you do.
You're just inviting the sleep if you don't.
Yeah, and if he's going in, you know, if that happens, he's going to lose another heal more having to heal. Depends on this ambush. He is not going to clear a standard Dragon Lord with the resources he has. So we'll see. He opened up with a 10. Yeah, he might be ignoring that because this guy has to be basically a mineral Dragon Lord if he wastes that MP.
True. Yeah. I see what you're saying. You have to gamble that it doesn't have anything spicy.
Yeah, you either do 120 maybe on blowing the heal more and the stop spell, or you ignore it and you get 3 extra swings.
Oh, this is going on. Chris has gone into the DL1 fight.
I assume our trackers are counting because I never count. I always lose track after like 2 swings.
I don't think Chris saw the heal more.
Well, that's nice.
Chris got the stop spell out, has 77 MP left in his swinging weight. This is a fairly straightforward
Zatrex is not.
Chris.
Yeah, if Zatrex can't get this down, Chris almost certainly is, unless something terrible happens. So he's got about 4 swings to go, and he gets him.
Zatrex gets there.
And look at that MP left. He would have had to cast Stop Spell, and he would have had to cast Return, or excuse me, Stop Spell and Heal more if he had done that. So that's 8 MP, which is more than the 6. So he very well had to do that to win this one. That's the sort of things you have to think about to win races like this.
And Zatrex gambled that there was nothing spicy on DL2 and was correct.
There you go. GG's out in chat to Zatrex, the right decision, and we'll be getting the 5 points that will clinch him a playoff spot going into week 5. So he'll get to take week 5 and just have fun with it. Meanwhile, Chris is on the fight here. He's probably getting really close to getting through this guy because, again, he doesn't have a tremendous amount of hit points, and Chris still has like 15 heal mores to go. And there it is. GG's out to Chris, who, again, is going to finish maybe about a minute and a half, probably less than 2 minutes off the pace here. Played really well, and just, actually had a fairly nice Sharlock, but just wasn't able to quite get it through. But that will be 3 points for Chris, putting him at 14, which is a very strong position going into week 3. And while all this was happening, Zatrex has joined us in the booth. GG, Zatrex, how did you feel about that race?
I feel pretty incredible. I was worried when I couldn't find Staff of Rain at first, that was going to set me behind, but I guess I made it.
Yeah, I believe, you were, I don't know if you were first or not, but I seem to think you, Juef, and Chris all found it almost, not exactly at the same time, but within like a minute of each other. You were all searching all over the place for it.
Yeah, I was tucked in this little corner, and while I was sweeping that area, I had a sense like there may have been a little spot I didn't see, but let me just keep pressing on, and, it's a small, if I miss something, I know it's small. And so then once I cleared everything else, I was like, all right, I guess it's over there somewhere.
Yeah, well, it was fun because the nature of the seed was 2 completely different angles. Like, I think you and Miplet kind of took one way of going through it, and Chris and Juef both went through Swamp pretty early, so they saw the 2 key items over there. But what was your thinking about like the grinding in the seed? Because when that experience started coming, it seemed to really just start coming, and the levels were just like an avalanche.
Yeah, it was funny because like the starting zone, you had, what was it, the Magi Wyvern, and that was like the only good thing. And I was like, this isn't quite good enough. Let me just check the zone north. And then I had the Knights. And I was like, this is pretty good, but this zone is polluted. Let me just scooch over this other one. And then all of a sudden the Wyverns were there for like 300 something. I was like, okay, this is the enemy. But it was just like every zone was a little better than the last.
Yeah, it was funny too because everyone was doing something slightly different there at the beginning. I think Juef was harping to get wyverns, while I think you and Chris were like axe knights and knights. But then I think Chris was a little bit slow to notice the wyvern, where I think you were getting there a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I managed to kill an axe knight. They kept running from me, like every time I tried to swing through on them. And then when I got hurt more, obviously, that was when I killed the wyvern.
Yeah, the wyvern there was a little scary. It didn't. I think Juef took it out with fairy waters that he was grinding in Garenham to get to it, which was pretty amazing. And then we saw it like heal mooring and DL2ing people.
Yeah, my philosophy in Chaos is once you got hurt more, like that's your first option on basically everything. Like, I'm not going to bother waiting to see this thing put me to sleep or have stupid agility. I'm just going to burn it down, and if that doesn't work, then I'll try something else.
And while we're talking here, Juef has made his way to the Dragon Lore and gets a stop spell out. Again, this is going to be a simple matter of just playing the fight smart, because with that MP, he could probably do about 300 damage to the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, I was real worried going into the DL2. You saw I didn't even throw the stop spell out. I was like, I've got a normal amount of heal mores left, so I just needed to bank on it being a normal Dragon Lord, not packing anything in the back end.
Unfortunately,
yeah, and that was
exactly that.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how the math works, but you would have had to cast heal more at some point too if you cast stop spell. So you would have lost 8 MP and 1 swing, and you won with 6 MP, and you could have swung 1 more time. So there really wasn't a whole lot more that feels like that decision might have been what got you to the win here. And if that hadn't worked out, I kind of get the feeling that everyone else, assuming Miplet's able to go through here and Juef wins, they might have been able to pass you. So that might have been from fourth to first decision.
I mean, it was really like DL1 took 3 stop spells. So I was just like, this is all my MP is gone.
All you have to do is not realize DL1 has heal more, and you don't worry about it.
Well, that certainly would have made things simpler.
GG's, Zatrex.
GG's.
I thought you beat me by 10 seconds initially, but then I reread it. I was like, oh, a minute 10, I can lose by that much. That's fine. What an ugly map. What an ugly, ugly map.
Yeah, we saw you guys were all over the place trying to find the turn-ins, trying to find grave.
Yeah, I was quietly hoping that my finding Mountain Cave early was going to be to my advantage. Like maybe people didn't deep dive grave and then they're going to go hunting for mountain that's in the middle of nowhere and then there's nothing there.
I found a death necklace. I didn't need it, but I found it. And then I left all the other chests alone.
Yep.
GG's, Jeff. GG's.
GG's, Jeff.
Hey, GG's everyone. Nice race.
Indeed. I think to bring everyone, also GG, Chris and Jeff, sorry, to kind of bring everyone in here, it felt like, again, the grinds were a little different, but again, Chris and Juef, you guys both kind of pushed through Swamp a little bit more. And Zatrex kind of went the other direction. So he was first to Sword. Not that I think that mattered much because everyone was just hurt-mooring everything. Well, except for Zatrex. I think his hurt-more count was a little bit lower.
Yeah, I did a lot of running. Running was probably the thing I did the most in this seed.
Yeah, we just stat about running.
Yeah, we do have Miplet on the Dragon Lore now. He should be able to clear this fight, assuming no mismenus or accidents. But it's just, I guess, this is more directed at both you, Chris and Juef. Was there any thought, like at the beginning with the leveling? Because I think you went a lot earlier. I think both Chris and Zatrex were 16 before they pushed out, whereas you went out at 10, Juef. Kind of curious to see what your guys' thinking about that was, because chaos can always be really confusing to know when the best time is to move.
Yeah, so I just found that knight and an axe knight given like 200 and 100, and I said, oh, there's my grind. And basically, I didn't want to head out until I could repel as much as possible. Should have bought that shield a lot earlier.
I didn't really want to go, but at that time I still hadn't found a really interesting enemy. There was the Wyvern, of course, which I found a couple of times with the heart, but it seemed too rare to be worth doing, especially since it ran away so often. So I just went not to explore, but really to find a better enemy, and it took a long time until I found one, really.
And what was that for you?
Well, the Wyvern family was pretty good overall. The Knight family was pretty good overall. The Dragon was pretty good as well. By the time I found them, I was pretty much in ghost stats or very close to, so I didn't really stop to grind anywhere after that.
Oh yeah, what was the blue dragon worth? That kept running from me.
It was 100 and something, just about 100.
All right, we get our GGs out in chat to Miplet. I think the final time is going to have to come in the credits there, or from Staffer from Veluv, our restreamer. It's going to be about now there it is, 102.13. So GGs to him. He obviously won't be with us because he ran this async yesterday, I believe. So, but I've been talking a lot. And Dave, do you have any questions for runners?
I think you've covered pretty much everything we need to. Cover most of what I was thinking, anyway.
What's this 14-point Thunderdome I've entered?
Oh, Ziggy is referencing something that because it involves a race that has not been shown yet that I don't want to comment about.
Okay.
I believe we're talking 4 racers enter, 1 racer leaves. Then another racer leaves.
This is like
then
a
another
playoff
racer leaves.
scenario for the 16 spots.
Well, I don't know. I think the way it's shaping up, again, it depends on these last couple of races and how everything settles in for next week. The play-in line, the top 16, is either going to be 15 or 14, or somebody at 14 and a half will be on either side of that line. So for those of you who are ahead of that, which is, at 14, if you lose that race and you only get 1 point, you might have to do a play-in. I don't think 16 is going to happen. I think we're too low for that. But every different race can move that line. So it's kind of hard to know until all this week's races are done, and then you can throw a real, like, Tilo style breakdown of where everyone's chances are. But that does mean, again, Zatrex, you have clinched a playoff spot. I believe you are not guaranteed to be in Group 1 next week, but very likely to be. There's still 2 people who could possibly win to muck that up, but I think you win the tiebreaker, so to speak.
I think my Buchholz score will be high enough, but we'll see.
On that note, juef, despite the 3rd place, which could be mildly disappointing, I believe you are also in now. Again, 16, I'm pretty sure is safe. Like, I would mark it as safe on my end. So, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Pretty happy to be part of the playoffs potentially this year again. Haven't been very far in the last time I made it, but I'll try and do my best.
And of course, Chris, I believe I would personally put you as semi-qualified. We'll have to see what the things are and to do things actually technically and not just the Aaron TU2 style of picking whatever he feels makes sense.
I am semi-proud of myself.
Just the go on vibes and like, yeah, feels right.
Semi-proud of yourself. That's funny. All right, so you guys got any questions for each other? Any last thoughts?
Just good luck for the rest of your races. I hope to see you again in the playoffs. Thank you, Restream team, for everything. Veluv, Aaron, and Dave, RG, and Chihali. Always much appreciated to watch the Restreams back, and I'm looking forward to this one.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I think this is going to be a fun one. I'm going to go back and watch this one.
Oh, definitely a great race.
A long way before I turn it around. Yeah, it's just I'm just really excited to have made bracket this year. I've been chasing it I've been in the community for 3 years. It's my first time making bracket at any event, so I'm really excited. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, GG, congratulations. I think, yeah, 2nd year for Winter League for you, juef, and Chris, you're in the mix. I can't remember. I think you were in this last year, right? Or am I forgetting? No,
Yeah, this is my 2nd winter tournament. Did not make the bracket then.
Yeah, Winter League itself can just be very random. I think I made brackets my first year, and then I ended up with like 11 points my second year, and then I won it my third. So you can go all over the place, and I'm not so sure that I got any better. I just got a little luckier. All right. Well, I cannot tell because I'm not in the inner workings if we have a raid target or anything. Obviously, we're not going to raid any of the people who are currently racing. That race will be vodcast at some point.
Looks like we're going over to Speed Gaming 4. There's a Zelda 1 random race going on between Stags and Kennedy, we'll call it.
All right, Speed Gaming 4. All right then. So, do you want to take us out, Ninja Dave?
Sure. Yeah, this has been a great race. Make sure to give all of our runners a follow. Miplet, Zatrex17, Chris, and Juef, as well as people behind the scenes. They will be clicking on the restream. RG365 and Shihali pushing all the buttons, and my co-commentator Aaron. And as for us in Dragon Warrior, go give a big old greetings to Speed Gaming running Zelda.